Yeah.
in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I haven't been outside in a week, you know.
They say the smoke has made it all the way to Scandinavia.
Mm.
Oh, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's
Yeah.
also a lot of fires burning in Siberia too. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of smoke in the northern hemisphere making its
Yeah.
rounds.
Well, some
yeah.
of my family in Denmark text me saying, we may have to start wearing a mask. And I thought, aren't you already wearing masks?
They haven't been.
Apparently they're not.
They started, now they have to wear masks when they're outside.
Well, that's new apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
it is new.
they didn't wear masks before, but now they have to because it's flared
I-
up again.
I can't believe
Yeah.
that. That is incredible.
I was
They're closing everything at 10 at night.
Yeah, and no parties after 10.
Oh, no, they're just closing. They're not, nobody can control the parties. Here it's midnight.
So how's the air in Portland? Have you heard?
It's still bad. My niece and nephew both live in Portland, and I mean, it's better. They made it into only extremely dangerous today, but it was off the charts. I mean, like literally off the charts in the, or off the graph, I guess. And they both have young children, so not good. But
And I live in Salem, Oregon, south of Portland. And we were in the hazardous zone up until a few hours ago. It's finally cleared out. We're down into good quality air for the first time in 10 years.
awesome.
You know how the rest of the story goes.
Well, my
That's
daughter's
awesome.
mother-in-law in Spain, in Barcelona, can see the smoke cloud coming in over the Mediterranean.
Wow.
She took a picture of it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Incredible.
2020.
Yeah. All right. Well, hello, everyone. I think we are ready to get started if everybody else is ready. We have about 60 people signed up, but I'm sure not everyone's coming tonight. So we'll just go ahead and get started here. If you guys could all put your microphones on mute, that would be helpful because there's always a lot of background static. So thank you. All right, it's so nice to see you all. Thank you all for coming, and welcome to the Danish American Cultural Retreat. Of course, we wish we could see you all face to face this year and spend another consecutive year together at Manuka, but this year we're gonna have to do things a little bit differently. With that being said, I told you we have over 60 people coming in throughout the weekend, and there's people from all over the country. We even have people from Denmark and from Canada joining us, so that should be fun. And so I'm going to start with a few reminders just to make the whole weekend go more smoothly and so it's more enjoyable for everyone. If you could keep your microphones on mute when you're not speaking, that would be really helpful, just to minimize any background noise. And we will allow questions throughout like all of the sessions throughout the weekend, but if you could type your questions as they come up in the chat, that would be helpful, and then we will take all the questions at the end of each session. And so I'll read the questions out loud to also just to minimize any background noise or squeaking. So, so we'll have you write all your questions in there, and then the presenters will take the questions at the very end. And the chat is, for anyone that doesn't know Zoom, the chat is that little bubble at the bottom of the screen, so you can just click on that, and you can either do a kind of a group message where everyone sees it, or you can do private messages to everyone. And let's see, what else do I have on here? And the view you can also change. I know you guys have been playing around with that a little bit, but you can do the presenter view, or you can do the gallery view where you see everyone on the screen. The sessions will all be recorded. It's up to the speakers whether we share them with you. So if you do want one of the sessions to be sent to you, please send me an email at the very end of DACR, and I will send them to you in an email if I've gotten permission from each of the speakers. And so a lot of you have bought raffle tickets, and so I thought I'd show you the raffle basket. Here it is. So we have Entanpeo chocolat and Tom's chocolat. And then we have some stickers, like a Denmark sticker for your car and a Danish flag and some licorice. And Larson's donated a $25 gift card. And Skål donated a $50 gift card. And Skål is a restaurant in Ballard, and Larson's is a bakery in Ballard in Seattle. So, and that's, yeah, Danish bag and just some little Danish goodies. So you can still buy raffle tickets up until midnight on Saturday. So I guess I'll give you a little introduction about myself for anyone that doesn't know me. I'm Lena Larson, and I work at the Northwest Danish Association. I was born in Denmark on Nykøbing Falster, but I grew up in Singapore and in the US, in LA, and then before I moved to Seattle. I've lived in Denmark off and on throughout my life. Yeah, I try to visit family whenever I can. And I've worked for the Northwest Danish Association for over 5 years, and every year I've been working with DACR, and it's a really special event. It's really fun and it's cozy, but it's also educational. So we're going to try to mimic that as much as we can this weekend with the limitations that we have. So I have put together some slides to kind of show you what DACR is normally like, and then we'll have Sonia say a little bit, and Edith will say a little bit after that. So let me just give me a minute to pull up the slide deck, and then we'll get started on that. Can you all hear me okay? Okay.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Okay. Can everyone see that? Yeah. Okay, great. So let me just second here. Okay, so like I said, welcome to the Danish American Culture Retreat. And I'm trying to present this in not full mode, but can't seem to figure that out. Okay. Okay, so I'll just go through here. So you've all probably seen the virtual program already, and we have kind of a mix between speakers that will be live this weekend and speakers that are and pre-recorded videos. So the pre-recorded videos are scheduled in the program, but you can really watch them whenever you feel like it. And you can feel free to pop in and out throughout the weekend for whatever interests you may have. I don't know if you picked up any of the hygge supplies this weekend, but there's a few breaks in between, so you're welcome to, yeah, I hope you enjoy them if you picked any of them up. And if you could take any pictures of how you created your own hygge from home conference, that would be really nice to see, because we can't really see what you guys are doing at home. So please send them to us so we can follow along. And as I said, the raffle will be, the raffle's on Sunday around noon. And we also have a special membership gift draw. And everyone who's registered is actually in one of the raffles. If you paid over $40, then you were entered in the main raffle. And if you're a member of the Northwest Danish Association, then you've been entered into the membership gift draw. So everyone here is involved, so it's gonna make it a little more exciting. And the membership gift draw is another gift card to Larson's Bakery. If you aren't a member, membership is a great way to support our organization, and you'll get lots of great benefits from it. DACR each year is heavily discounted if you're a member. So if you become a member now, then it'll be discounted for you next year. If you want to become a member, then on page 5 in your booklet, there's a link with more information. And if you become a member before Saturday at midnight, then we can enter you into the membership gift draw if you'd like. And you can also, yeah, on page 5 in the booklet, you'll also be able to buy more raffle tickets if you'd like. And all the proceeds do go to scholarships for students. The same form is also where you tip Fleming Barrand, who's our musician on Saturday, and he'll be donating all of his tips to the scholarship program as well. So here is the program for today. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about DACR, but I really just wanted to show you like a video of what a typical year at DACR looks like for those of you that haven't been before. So for those of you who haven't been before, you can kind of see what we normally do throughout the weekend, and the rest of you guys can see pictures of yourselves and get some nostalgia from it. It's about 10 minutes long, so. And then we will do our traditional flag raising ceremony, where we sing the Danish national anthem. And then Sonia, who is the secretary on our board, she'll share a few words. And Sonia has also been a longtime chairman of DACR. And then we'll have Edith Christensen, who is the NWDA president. Many of you guys know her already. She will say a little bit about the history of DACR. And then at 8 p.m. we have our live opening concert with Jessica Lynn Whitty on YouTube. So there's a link to that in your program. And then tonight, if you feel like it, the suggested movie is the Danish movie night. So this year, it's obviously from the comfort of your own home, but normally Manuka is, oh, let me go back. Manuka is at the, DACR is at the Manuka Retreat and Conference Center, which is right on the border of Washington and Oregon, and it overlooks the Columbia River Gorge. It has been there for over 40 years now, so this is the first year that we haven't held it at Manuka. There are a few pictures from past years, some of the speakers. On the right is Susanne Rasmussen, who is the pastor up in the Danish church in Vancouver. And there's that famous view that we all love so much, and a little bit more of the greenery. So here comes the video, and I've just made a collection of short clips and videos, or short clips and photos from past years, so you can just kind of see what a normal weekend at Manuka is like. So let's see if this works.
Dit dejlige navn og lukker os begge. Vi kommer sikkert i havn. Nu tager jeg hjem til Skagen, til den by jeg kan lide. Plötzlich liegt
Okay, I hope that gave you a taste of what DACR is normally like for us. So DACR 2021 will hopefully be at the Manuka Retreat and Conference Center next year. Fingers crossed. Here are the dates. It's from June 25th to June 27th, 2021. We will send you these messages in an email at the end of the event, so you can put them in your calendar. And so as you saw in the video, we normally start DACR with the flag raising ceremony and the Danish national anthem. So we're gonna sing the Danish national anthem together this year to kick off the DACR like we normally do. Feel free to sing as loud as you want. You're all muted, so no one can hear you. And if you don't speak Danish, don't worry if you butcher the pronunciation. Again, we can't hear you.
We should unmute. We should unmute. To sing this. Come on.
That's up to you. You're welcome to unmute if you'd like to. So
are we gonna
the
stand?
lyrics are on page 17 of your program. But in the video that I'm going to show, the lyrics are both in Danish and English, so you can follow along. Okay, so here we go.
Ja, de laatste.
Jeg blev siddende ned.
Hej Otto.
Hej.
Hi, velkommen til.
Hej.
Okay, so I want to end here by saying tusind tak. Thank you so much. I especially would like to thank all of the speakers and musicians for giving us such variety in the program this year. We could not have done it without you. And please don't forget to send us your photos from your Hugo conference from home. So I'm going to stop my screen share now. And I would like to turn this over to Sonia, and then Edith will be next to tell you about the history.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our first virtual DACR. I'd like to echo Lena's sentiment and thank all of you for attending, and the speakers and the musicians and everyone that is contributing to this program. But mostly, I would also like to give a huge, huge thanks to Edith and Frank Christensen, and an even huger thanks to Lena. None of this would be happening without her. She really sat down and figured this all out, and so kudos for making it happen, Lena. We really appreciate it. Really quick side note for anyone who follows the Tour de France, the Dane Søren Craig Anderson won again today. So he won stage 14 and stage 19. So that's exciting. I have a friend who's a cyclist who is like religiously following it. So I get the updates. So the idea behind DACR and its predecessor, the Danish Cultural Conference, really was about fellowship and continued learning and spending time together. And before Hygge was a thing in the United States, it was really a lot about that. And so we can't quite mimic it exactly, but I think we're going to have a pretty darn good virtual effort here. And my first involvement with Manuka, I didn't even used to really know what it was, but we had family friends. Some of you may remember Ellen and Gunnar Evald, who always went. And so my first foray into attending was in 2006. And shortly thereafter, only maybe 2 more years after that, I actually started helping coordinate it. And it's really just a lot of fun. It's fun getting ideas for topics and looking for speakers, and then getting to actually enjoy it at the end. So welcome everyone. And I'm sorry that we can't be together in person, but I'm really, really happy that we can not have to skip an entire year of DACRing, as it were, or as I also like to refer to it, adult thing camp. Yes, we love it. Anyway, welcome. And once again, thank you all for coming, and I'll turn it back over now to Edith.
Hi, everyone. And thanks for participating and trying out this special format that Lena set up. That was a lot of work. I watched her at the office, and times she just had to do it all from home. It was just impossible to be interrupted constantly at the office and still get anything done. But anyway, she's worked so hard to set it up so you could view these programs and we could all be together even if we weren't at Manuka. And we've put together a really great program with some wonderful speakers. I wondered how this program was begun and why. So I did some research. I looked through the files at the office, made some phone calls, but there was nothing from the really very early days that we had at the organization. So I attempted to get information from people who'd been there 20, 30, 40 years ago. This is our 42nd year. In 1978, Arnold Botker and his son Egan, a professor in Salem, Oregon, and some other alums and friends from Grandview College got together to organize an event which would be about the Danish immigration to the US and the influences of these people in this country. They solicited speakers who would talk about their experiences of immigration, and from Denmark and from the Danes who influenced this part of the country. They decided to hold a conference. They called it the Pacific Northwest Danish Conference, and they held it at Manuka. And it has been held there ever since, except this year. But we'll be back next year. We have confidence that we'll be back. I've already reserved the dates that Lena told you about. Egan Bodkirk became the first director of the conference and took charge of organizing and running the event. And some of the other people involved were Lily Gregerson, I talked to her, Bodil Sorensen, Otto and Edith Kilgren, and others. And I got most of this information from Otto Brask, who actually has saved the old brochures from those first days. So that's how we got the information about when it started and who did all this. And it was well attended for many years, but when the attendance began to decline, it was decided that it could be operated through the Northwest Danish Foundation, now the association. And NWDA has been organizing the conference ever since and still holds it annually with the goal of informing people about the Danish influence in the US, as well as the history and stories of other Scandinavian countries, and includes a wide assortment of topics from Danish motorcycles, the Bornholm churches, porcelain, foods, and authors of books who have influenced us about the different countries, not just Denmark, but also Norway, Sweden, Iceland. So it's become inclusive to include the other Scandinavian countries. This weekend will bring you a wide assortment of topics again. So enjoy the event. Thanks. It's up to you, Lena.
Yeah, well, thank you all so much for coming to this introduction part, and I hope to see you for the rest of the weekend. The next thing on the program is Jessica Lynn. She will start at 8 p.m. So you have time to grab a Carlsberg or a glass of wine, whatever you need, and just go to the program and it'll be right there. Just click on the link and it'll be live at 8 p.m. And that'll be from 8 to 9, and then at 9 you can watch the movie or do whatever you like. And then tomorrow morning the program starts at 9 a.m. with Karen Eisenhut, who is a Danish teacher in Denmark, and she's going to tell us about how they open the schools over there and about the COVID situation in Denmark. So that'll be exciting. And yeah, thank you all so much. And let me know if you have any questions throughout the weekend. Just send me an email.
Bye. Talk.
Okay, I have a question. Where do you go on the program to click in to get to the concert?
Let's see, it should be on page.
Like I go back to the actual program.
Yeah, you would go to the Friday program.
Okay.
It's on page 6.
Will do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I leave here. I just leave you.
Yeah.
Goodbye. It was nice.
Yeah, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, leave meeting. We would like to leave. Goodbye.
Oh, so we go out of this program and into another program?
Yes, I will send you, I'll put the link in the chat so it's easy to find. But it's the second part in the program on page 6.
Okay.
It's the link, it's like a YouTube live link. It's right there if you need it. So it'll start at 8.
Hi, Lena, it's Ingrid.
Hi, Ingrid.
At 9, were you showing a film, and where would that be?
It's also, if you go to the program, the link is right there. It's just on Netflix. So if you just want to watch it on your own time, we're not going to do that together or anything.
Okay.
But you can, if you don't have Netflix, you can sign up for a free trial. But the movie's the Lycopia.
Yeah, like one of those old ones, the Lycopia. It's old.
Yeah, it's like an older, it's a new film, but it's set in the past.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone have any other questions or anything? Or...
No, I think I'm good anyway. It's nice to
Okay.
see everybody's faces though.
It is. It's been a very long
I
time.
I miss everybody.
I know. Same. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Thank you again, Lena,
Yeah,
for
you're welcome. Of course.
putting this together. It's just amazing. So
Thank you. I'm glad we could work it out. It was kind of sad not to have one this year. So we can't go a year without a DACR.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Very cool. And you might mention that we can, or remind people that we can don't tip Jessica too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll put the link in. I think there's like a chat in YouTube, so I'll try to put the link in there.
Okay, we're unmuted. Okay. Hi, Lena. Hey, Lena.
Lena, welcome to the team.
We want to have full to you, Lena. Thank you and for making this possible.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh.
Tack för sapade. I'm glad you could join us.
Very fun. That's the noisy talk to Yes.
Hi.
Yeah, I think you've been at DACR. I think I remember you in the 90s. Weren't you there?
Who?
Yet a bunch.
Oh, yeah. You always say.
You have to unmute.
Oh, I can unmute.
Click unmute, then you can hear you. Yeah, Yetta's one of the people I talked to about what is the history of this organization? When did we start? You know, it's really bad that we don't have some of that old information. And the only one I found who does have that is Otto. And so I'm going to try and talk him out of some of it, so maybe we could have some records at the office.
You know what we could do is just scan them too.
Yeah.
Did you say you
If I could borrow them from him.
Did you say you couldn't hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, I don't know what I did differently, but anyway, I went down to the old folks home and took people for rides, and you know, way back, I can't even remember when, that the Danish Foundation met at the old folks home down there in
South Park.
South Park, yeah. So I'm sure maybe some of you are as old as I am and can remember that. And that's where I got started. And back then you could take the old people in your car and take them for a ride. Well, you can't do that today because of all the insurance problems. But anyway, and then, yeah, I was president when we opened where we are now. I can't even remember for how many years, but anyway, Edith has done such a great job. There was not that much going on back then, but there's a lot more now, and I think we're doing really, really well. Thanks to her.
I think we're getting a lot more of the younger people involved too,
yeah,
by having different kinds of programs that kind of entice some of the younger people to participate.
Yeah, that's true. Well, of course, then, yeah, we've had things for younger people. I'm going to miss the Christmas thing if we don't have it this year. But
well, we're not.
Me too.
We can't.
Yeah, maybe we can do something online again. We'll have to kind of brainstorm and see if we can do something. It won't be as fun.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, like Ingrid suggested, we should have delivery small boy.
Yeah.
One of the videos that I watched, they actually had little boxes that were like subdivided with delivery boxes for small boy.
Yeah.
Well, we could have them pick them up at the office there and have Greta and Annie Seiberg making them. That brings up the bazaar, which is supposed to be the first weekend in November, and it has been canceled. And they're trying to think if there's something they can do instead. And so watch to see what's going to happen. We're going to do something, but we don't know exactly what. So I'm trying to see if there's something we can do. That's an idea. Take out Smell Boy.
I think the Nordic Heritage Museum is having an auction online.
Yeah.
You know, whether we could do something like that.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure people will come and buy them at the door or, you know, prepay.
Pick them up.
Sure, because people,
Yeah.
you know, hunger for
Actually, right.
sort of the same old what we've had, but as close as we can get to what we've had, you know. I think so.
Well, it's Annie Seiberg's group that does the Smell Boys, so I have to find out. They just said that they wouldn't be able to do it, so maybe I can twist her arm a little bit and we can get some takeout or something like that. Idea.
Do you think people would come and buy them?
I don't know.
I just
The
had
only way we know is if we try.
That's true. That's true.
a brainstorm. If we could just get one or two of those ladies from the circle, and then we brought on some younger people, you know, maybe 3 younger people to be assistants and pass on.
Teach them how to make Smell Boy. Somebody has to continue this forever.
There you go. That's a good
We have
point.
to keep the distance though, but while making this Smell Boy.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Wearing
But they
masks.
could wear masks.
And
They could wear
gloves.
masks.
Which, in terms of sanitation and making food, is rather a good idea anyway, right?
Yeah.
It really is, actually. Then, you know, you don't have to socially distance quite to the same extent if you're masked and wearing gloves and, you know, so on. But, you know, we could also have like pickup times. Like people could have drive-by pickup like some of the restaurants are doing. So that way, and if you ordered ahead of time, then you know, there would be a good sense of how many were needed to be made.
So like the libraries, if you have to drive up to the curb to pick up your books at the library whenever they tell you.
My library has been closed since mid-March. So thank goodness for the online ebooks and stuff. It's been really helpful.
Yeah.
I was going to say, just on another point of food, I was talking in the chat that Larson's, you know, and Lena, when whoever wins the raffle, and if they're away, I'm wondering if Larson's would send through the mail.
Oh, they deliver. Yes.
They do. Yeah, they do.
You can order.
Have good rye bread, and I've always wanted to pick up the phone, call them, and have it delivered because it is over there. So that's.
I know somebody that they mailed a kransekake to.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they had it all packed up and all, you know, they had to assemble it there, but it's pretty clever how they do it.
Did it cost a lot extra?
I don't remember. I've never done it personally. The only thing we did was when we've ordered it, and then, you know, basically they have it all packed up and we took it out, you know, but we picked it up. We didn't have them mail it, but these friends actually had it at my sister's house, and so they wanted it for another holiday, and so they actually ordered one, and it sounds like it worked out. That was a number of years ago now, but it was kind of fun. So
yeah, life goes on somehow.
Yeah. And I know that around pretty soon, probably in November, a lot of times you can get Larson's kringle at QFC as well as at the bakery. So
Actually, we picked up one just a week ago at QFC.
Was that the one by the by Northgate?
No, it's out here in Richmond Beach.
Because I looked at the one. I looked at the one yesterday in off of 145th, and they didn't have it, and I was bummed. And you know what else they didn't have either? they didn't have the Costello aged Havarti, that's kind of been my source, but I think that might be kind of a lower tier QFC, so all hope is not lost. They did have caraway Costello Havarti, the caraway Havarti, and they had Havarti with like peppers in it. And Costello is an Arla brand, so you can look for it.
Back on the topic of early Manuka DACR, I was at my mother's and she has pictures from the early 90s, and I haven't pulled those, but I'll try to get them to the office at some point.
That would be nice. That would be nice to have.
And when she was going in the late 80s, they did have a Sankt Hans. Yeah, celebration with the bonfire and that, yeah, so.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, it looks like they started DACR, which was actually then Pacific Northwest Danish instead, in 78, but I don't know that they held it in Manuka in 78. They may have started that in 79. I have a list of all the speakers from 79 on. Yeah. And I have a list of all the presidents of the DACR from the beginning. So I have some interesting history that when I was searching, looking for something else, you run into other things you don't know you have.
Well, my memory of in the early 90s, that most of the people knew each other because they had gone to Grandview College. And so it was like,
interesting.
Well, this was
home and
in the 70s that they were all older people.
What's that? I'm sorry.
It was in the 70s that they were started this. So they must have gone to Grandview in the 40s, 50s.
Yeah. And every year I would go back and people would say, "Oh, who are you?" And I'd want they could so anyway, I was not a Grandviewian, but I did, it was interesting. It was more to spend time with my mother. So
I didn't go to Grandview, but Frank did. And my dad, my father did.
Edith, this is Lois. I think that group, that was the birth of Himmelbeer through that group.
Yeah, I think it was. Yes, I heard that too.
Yeah.
They were quite ambitious. They did both Himmelbeer and the DACR.
Yeah, well, they decided they needed to do something to bring in young people. And therefore came the idea for Himmelbeer, which was patterned after the program in the Midwest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you've heard this, but that with kids coming and some people drawn away to entertain the children, finally they had to, set the children aside in their own program so that the adults could just focus.
Yeah. Hey, Ingrid, has your daughter had a chance to have very many concerts lately or playing any music?
Aw, you're sweet. It keeps getting canceled, but yeah.
Too bad.
But her this woman who leads the Seattle Lilla Spelmanslag is very ambitious, so she just keeps. They do dance concerts via Zoom and all sorts of things.
Good.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So that's sweet. I never attended a dance event via Zoom, but these people are totally dedicated, and they don't want the organization to die during this period, right? I think that is kind of the crux of the matter. Not only is it socially important, to have these things, but not to let an organization die because
keep it going.
Like the Nordic Museum. I mean, I want to run over there and attend.
Yep.
We don't want it to die.
For sure.
I'm going to jump over to the concert now, but you guys are welcome to stay in here and keep chatting if you'd like. Yeah. Thank you for joining us today. I'll see you in the morning. Bye.
Concert time. Bye.
Well, speaking of the Nordic Heritage Museum, I work with the interviewing of people. And one of the main reasons I'm actually still doing that is because I'm the only Dane. We're not really well represented. And we need to interview more Danes. And so please let me know if you know somebody who would be interested in being interviewed and who are.
And what are they doing with all of these interviews?
They keep them on file, and the person who has been interviewed gets a video and a little booklet of what they said. And I think it's an interesting program. Of course, we started out with people who had been in Denmark or in the Nordic countries during the war, and now they're pretty much gone. And so, but yeah, we need more Danes to interview.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the dad did his last year with Marianne Jackson, and it was such a good experience.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like we haven't interviewed some Danes, but not nearly our share, so to speak. We really need to do more. So let me know if you have some people.
Well, I can ask, there's all the people in the Danish club and that we know, or this organization, Northwest Danish. I mean, do you think most of those people have been interviewed, the older folks? Or?
Yeah. So anyway.
Is there a list of who's been interviewed?
Yes.
Yeah, they have that.
There's a list of Danes as compared to Norwegians or Swedes. There's just a list of everybody.
How about Otto Brask? I wonder if Otto has been.
Minna was.
Minna
doesn't want to be interviewed.
Minna was interviewed.
I don't know. He's here.
Yeah.
I think we should interview Otto Brask. Otto, where?
Yeah, that would be good.
Is he on? He was attending this, but I don't know whether he was on tonight now.
He was
signed
here.
up.
Yeah. Anyway.
And Minna is coming home on Monday.
How is she doing?
Well, she's well enough to come home apparently, but then he's going to have extra help.
Yeah.
For her.
Oh, well.
I'm going to attend the concert, folks. See you later.
Okay. I think I will do that too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we'll see you over there. Bye-bye.
Okay, what time tomorrow?
9 a.m.
9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
9 a.m.
Up and early.
But do we have to change anything now to get to the concert?
Yes, there's a link. Do you know how to get to the chat? If you go to the bottom of your page there, can you see where there's a bubble that looks like a cartoon bubble that says underneath it chat?
Yes.
Okay, so you click on that, and almost all the way to the bottom,